Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Just Because Wrestling and welcome to a new era of Just Because Wrestling because we're using brand new gear.
Yes.
Fantastic stuff.
Yes, no more of this.
Yeah. We're using brand new mics, brand new, what's this thing called?
Mixer.
Brand new mixer.
Nice to know that you know your equipment.
Anyway.
If you can already tell, I do all this tech stuff.
You're tech support in this.
You just turn up and speak and leave.
I made the magic happen, baby. You just make sure it runs smoothly.
Yeah.
Brand new gear. So if the sound sounds better, that's why.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big week on in the wrestling industry because we've got two major pay-per-views taking place this weekend. We've got on Saturday night we've got Impact Wrestling Slammiversary. They're like their SummerSlam basically. And we've got WWE's Extreme Rules 2020, or excuse me, the horror show at Extreme Rules for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to them in due course. But yeah, we'll run through them, and we'll go through our predictions, whatever. We'll predict the matches as they are right now, and we'll just we'll talk about it. Anything you want to talk about before we get into predictions, though, news wise?
No, it's been a while now since we've done an episode. I think it's been 2-3 weeks. So there definitely is news, but I'm just blanking.
I suppose we'd be remiss to not mention New Japan.
Oh yeah.
I suppose last week anyway, if you haven't already heard, so New Japan, New Japan's been in the news for two reasons. One, they're kind of the first major promotion to have fans back. So they ran two shows last week with fans. They ran the finals of the New Japan Cup and Dominion, which would be their SummerSlam essentially. They ran it in Osaka-jo Hall at a limited capacity. It was about I think a third of the capacity. So about I think Osaka-jo Hall can hold about 9,000. So it was about 3,000 people were there.
Yeah.
And also there was a massive heel turn and title change in New Japan last week. Really huge and kind of out of nowhere, really. So basically, Evil of LIJ won the New Japan Cup last week.
Yeah. He
defeated Kazuchika Okada in the final. But the whole story going through the tournament was Evil was kind of getting, obviously the man's name is Evils, so he's never exactly fully good.
Yeah.
But he was always kind of a face, really. He was never actually really heel in New Japan because he kind of came in straight away and joined LIJ when he came back from excursion and stuff. So
he teamed with Sonata for a long time too.
Yeah. He was never exclusively heel. I get LIJ were heels when they first kind of formed, but they were so cool that no one really cared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he he started wrestling more and more heelishly. His first match, he wrestled Satoshi Kojima. He wrestled Satoshi Kojima in the first round, and he kind of just nothing. He didn't cheat per se, but it was just kind of he wrestled more aggressively. In the second round, then he faced who was it? Hiroki Goto.
Yeah.
Faced Hiroki Goto then in the second round, and just again wrestled a bit more heelishly, just a bit more aggressive and stuff. And then it was in the quarterfinals that things started really getting ramped up because he wrestled Yoshihashi in the quarterfinals, and in the previous round Yoshihashi got a knee injury, a kayfabe knee injury in his match, and literally the minute Yoshihashi was doing his entrance and Evil attacked him from behind, started going after the knee, started smashing it with a chair, then locked in the Scorpion Deathlock, and the referee had to stop the match because it looked like he wasn't letting go, and then he wouldn't let go after the bell, and then continued to attack his knee after the match, and everyone was like, Jesus, alright. And then in the semi-finals things got even more interesting because Evil wrestled his tag team partner Sonata for a spot in the final, and at first it seemed all they shook hands at the start of the match, but Evil went for a clothesline something after the break and stuff, but that kind of typically happens in New Japan and stuff. There'll be one partner who kind of tries to get the upper hand. But anyway, the match hit about the 20-minute mark, and Evil hits Evil hits Sanada with a chair and then hits him with a low blow, and you're just like, okay, that's not nice. And then again, Evil cheats then in the final as well to win. And then after the match, Tetsuya Naito, the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Champion, comes out, and he's like, whatever about your methods and stuff, congratulations, I'll see you at Dominion, and throws up the LIJ fist bump. Evil throws it up as well, and then at the last second turns it to a 2-sweet.
It's a cool visual too.
It was, yeah. And hits everything as Evil, and then Bullet Club come out, or what was available of Bullet Club came out, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was Taiji Ishimori, Gedo, Jado, and Yujiro Takahashi. But it was cool that Yujiro was there, because Yujiro used to be Naito's tag team partner as well.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. But so the next night at Dominion, it was Evil versus Naito for both belts, and Evil won. It was mental. But he didn't do it cleanly. At first, it looked like Bushi had come out and turned as well.
Yeah.
Choking out Naito with like some sort of like cord or like piano wire or something. And then he took off his mask and revealed that it was Dick Togo, of all people. That guy from Kai and Tai.
It's two now they have from Kai and Tai.
Yeah, Taka Michinoku and Dick Togo. Former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions the other as well.
Interesting.
Yeah. So now Evil is the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Champion. So, like, double champion Evil. It's been a rapid ascension up the card for him. Like,
it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been kind of upper mid-card in the tag scene.
And they've always kind of been high on him in the sense, like, they gave him a match with Jericho even and stuff like that, and that was only reserved for, like, their top talent.
That's true.
And, like, they have had a lot of faith in him in the last year or so. So it shouldn't come as such a surprise, but it still is a surprise.
Like, out of Evil and Sanada, I always preferred Sanada. Like, obviously Evil has the more kind of striking look. Like, they both have great looks, but like, I always thought Sanada was the better wrestler.
Yeah,
I still do, and I also thought he was going to be the one to get pushed, but I mean, like you said, like, if you look back over Evil's track record, even before the heel turn and joining Bullet Club and now IWGP Heavyweight Champion and stuff, like, he had that match with Jericho. He's beaten Okada like 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, Sanada has beaten Okada twice, I think, but he's lost to him like 7 times. And I think Evil has a record of like 3 wins against him and maybe like 3 losses against him.
It's like an even record.
It's like fairly even. And I mean, like, it's huge for him. Like, I mean, they've properly put a lot of faith in him, ascended him up the ranks. He's now at the head of Bullet Club. They haven't exclusively said he's the leader yet, but Tamatonga put up a tweet there the other day, and it was like 2013 to 2016 rock and roll era, 2013 to 2015 rock and roll era, 2015 to 2017 phenomenal era, 2017 to 2018 elite era, 2018 to 2020 cutthroat era, and now 2020 to whatever evil era.
Yeah.
So, like, they are recognizing him as, like,
their leader, I suppose.
The spearhead of Bullet Club at the moment.
I think it'll end up with a face turn for Jay White, and that'll be interesting to see, because
I wonder,
because he's such a good heel. Can he do the same?
He was on Excursion, when he was a young line, he went on Excursion to Ring of Honor and stuff. He did wrestle as a face.
Yeah,
he was a face, because most of them are anyway. I remember, and I just remember there was this one match that I saw in Ring of Honor, and it was Jay White. It was Young Lion Jay White versus Will Ospreay, and Ospreay was the heel and Jay White was the face, which was weird, like,
And
but I remember watching it. It was a really good match, and I remember being like, that Jay White guy is really good.
Yeah,
and hopefully, I'll hear of him again. Like,
yeah,
and obviously he's done huge things since, but it'd be interesting, because obviously, Jay White's over in I think he's in America. Yeah, I think he's living in Florida. So I don't know when they'll be back, because obviously America is in a state of disarray at the moment. Like,
so international travel.
And Kent is over there too.
Yeah, which is interesting considering, like,
I suppose, like, you pointed out to me when I said to you that, like, he has I think he has a child over there.
Yeah.
He's a child in school and stuff over there, like, so.
And he like, the dates for New Japan and stuff, there's a lot of wrestlers who wrestle like for New Japan, but like live in the United States. So I suppose he can just do it as well.
Like the Bucks and stuff. Like
yeah. And Kenny. Kenny lived in Japan.
Yeah, he lived in Japan.
Yeah. Who else was there? Who else am I thinking of?
Well, like the majority of Bullet Club,
Yeah.
Majority of the Gaijins don't live there. Like only a select few. Like Zack Sabre. I know Zack Sabre Jr.'s been there for the entire time, but like I'm pretty sure that was just an accident. I think he lives in England.
Yeah.
I don't think he actually
He was
lives
just
in Japan. He just so happened to be there, and like it got to the point where like he was like, I'll just stay here.
Yeah.
And who else? Like Gabriel Kidd again. I think he lives in Los Angeles at the moment because he's training out of the LA dojo.
Yeah.
In the New Japan LA
He's happened
dojo.
to be over there.
I think he was just over training in Japan and just decided to stay there. So
fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, Evil is now IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Champion. He's also the Never Openweight 6-man tag team champion with Bushi and Shingo Takagi. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with them belts, whether they just vacant them or like they do like a 2-on-3 match or something like that.
Yeah. That'd be interesting.
Because he was asked about it. They did an interview with him. They asked him about it, and he said, like that belt means nothing to me. So like,
fair enough.
Yeah. And now we know his next challenger as well, because after the match, they were attacking Naito, and Hiromu Takahashi runs out to make the save, and he challenges Evil for a match for both belts, which is interesting because Hiromu Takahashi is the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. So it's interesting seeing like a junior heavyweight getting such a big title match.
Yeah, but see, wasn't Takahashi supposed to wrestle Naito?
That's the thing. That's why he like that's the main issue with Takahashi is that his dream was to wrestle Naito.
Yeah.
Like it was meant to happen at the anniversary event, and because the main event of that show was always the junior heavyweight champion versus the heavyweight champion, and he at the time obviously it was Takahashi and Naito. And it was his dream to wrestle Naito for the belt, or it wouldn't have been for the belt, but he just wanted to wrestle Naito.
Yeah.
And now obviously he can't, so he's going for the belts. I don't think I'm pretty sure he won't win, but
well, yeah, he'd have 3 belts then. Yeah. One as a junior and 2 as a heavyweight.
That'd be kind of crazy, but I was thinking this might be a way for them to end the double champion thing, like have him win like the IC title or something.
Maybe, yeah.
But
could do it.
But it is announced as a double championship match.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know how they're gonna get away from the double champion thing.
Yeah. That's taking place next week actually. It's on the 25th of July, so that should be a good match.
Oh, interesting. I didn't think it was that close.
Yeah. That close. Sengoku lowered.
And when has there been anything announced about the G1 and when's that's happening? Or it was originally for October anyway because of the Tokyo Olympics.
Harold May, the president of New Japan, was asked about it in a recent press conference because obviously they said obviously New Japan Cup kind of took place in that time slot.
Yeah.
But like you said, it was postponed anyway due to the Olympics meant to happen. And he said it's still on the calendar, so I think it's still going to happen.
Still going to happen in October.
As far as he said he didn't give concrete dates, but he was like it's still on the calendar.
Yeah,
so
interesting. It'd be interesting, like with that, and then Wrestle Kingdom coming up, and then like the Tokyo Dome for Wrestle Kingdom. Like, will that actually be able to hold the full capacity, or will it be a split capacity? Or
I saw, Japan, like the country of Japan, released it was like a reopening thing, like a reopening process.
Yeah.
And they released dates like first, like they released like, sports arenas can operate at zero capacity from this date to this date.
Yeah.
And then it was a third capacity from this date to this date up to I think 5,000, and then it was maximum. I think it was maximum capacity or something. There is a day for it. I think that is sometime this year. So I think Wrestle Kingdom could be at maximum capacity next year.
Interesting. That would be interesting to see.
But obviously, things change. So.
But like that, if you're looking at it at that sense, that could be the first wrestling
big,
show,
huge show, yeah,
that is able to have maximum capacity.
I reckon it will be.
It could be, yeah.
I don't think America's going to get away with anything till the end of the till 2020.
I think they might get away with like a half capacity at some point.
Oh yeah, I think we might get stuff like that, but I don't think we're going to get any huge wrestling shows.
Yeah.
Like we're obviously not getting SummerSlam now. Like, but yeah, we're not getting
Hasn't been announced though, has it?
Well,
I know it's been rumored that it's going to take place at the PC. And stuff.
It's all but confirmed. Like they can't do it in Boston, which is where it was originally meant to be.
Yeah.
But it can't happen now because the Boston mayor, I think, or the governor of Massachusetts or something, has said that it's, we can't operate like.
Yeah.
So
like, what else was planned for that year? Like, was the NXT Takeover?
Boston's there's meant to be a Takeover Boston that weekend.
Yeah.
But that's like there's still Takeover happening that weekend, but it's just going to be like in the PC again. But interesting enough, it'll be the 30th Takeover, so it'll probably be called Takeover 30 or something.
Yeah. Do you reckon it'll still happen the night before, or will it be like Mania where they'll split it and do it over 2 weeks then on TV? Yeah, probably.
I think it's just with Mania, it was so short notice.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't short. Like it was, I think it was like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before Mania that it happened. Like,
but they have like a proper time now to plan this.
Like I reckon there'll be I have known for maybe 2 weeks, I say, whether they can do it or not.
Yeah.
And they've been planning it, I say, since.
Yeah. What do you think they'll do for SummerSlam? Like in terms of like cinematic matches and all this.
I don't know. On a beach or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Because it'll have to be like somewhat summery.
Well, it doesn't have to be, because I don't think SummerSlam has actually been a summer theme in a long time.
That's true, I guess.
Like, you could do, I don't know, you could do another Boneyard match, another Firefly Funhouse match. Yeah. Like, I think the way it's going, like, at the moment, with Bray and with Braun, is that we're going to get the Fiend and Braun at SummerSlam.
Yeah, no, it looks like they're doing the three faces of Wyatt.
And I don't know, will it be like in a Firefly Funhouse match?
I reckon it won't be. I reckon it'll be a straight match, because I reckon the Fiend will be taking the title off him.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll be taken. I mean, maybe, but I reckon it'll be a straight match if they're doing a title change.
Yeah, you never know.
We'll just wait and see, I guess, and we'll report it as it comes out, I guess. But at the moment, given the kind of clear directions of the matches going into SummerSlam, I don't think, of the matches that look obvious for SummerSlam, I don't think any of them are going to be cinematic so far. But I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah, but I think that they can't do a pay-per-view at the moment without
a cinematic.
Yeah. Like, how many do we have coming into this pay-per-view?
2. At least 2.
At least 2, but apparently
possibly 3.
Like the Seth and Ray one is.
Yeah. Well, that's not real. Like, apparently, yeah. Like we'll obviously talk about.
Someone's getting their eye taken out.
Yeah,
so.
But like, it's WB as well. Like, so they could promise that and then just have like it fall.
No, but apparently it's being done CGI. Like that's what's being reported on.
But see, like, does that count then as a cinematic match? Because I think it'll just be kind of, like how Edge and Orton was like filmed differently. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So,
but like Braun and Bray will definitely be a cinematic.
Swamp.
Yeah, it's in a swamp. And what was the third one?
The bar fight.
Oh, the bar fight. Yeah, that'll be.
That surely will be, wouldn't it? That surely will be.
Yeah.
I reckon that could be at Sheamus's house. Do you know when they say bar fight? I reckon it's at Sheamus's bar in his house.
Interesting. Does he have a bar in his house?
He does. He has Sheamus' bar. He has like a full bar in his house, like.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well, like a room, like, but but like I thought, because like they were saying like bar fight, and they kept saying bar fight, and like Sheamus for the last like 2 weeks has been doing like video, like he's been coming in via satellite from his bar.
Yeah.
And it's been like that's been coming up too many times for it maybe not to be.
What if it's a double swerve and bar fight actually stands for the bar and it's a 2-on-1 handicap match with Cesaro?
Imagine. If it was Sheamus who had set the challenge, then maybe.
Yeah.
But it was actually the Miz and Morrison who set this up, so because they just have the power to do that on SmackDown apparently.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently they're the co-GMs now.
Yeah. So yeah. But anyway, and there's also been rumours actually going back to New Japan of the G1 and the Best of the Super Juniors running at the same time. Like,
oh yeah?
Because obviously the Best of Super Juniors usually takes place in like May. So like New Japan Cup usually takes place around March, April.
Yeah.
And then Best of Super Juniors takes place around May, June. And then New Japan or G1 is July, August. And there's been talk because they were doing Joe, they've been doing interviews with a bunch of wrestlers now and putting them up on the website. They're actually interesting enough interviews, kind of giving you an insight, because like they're kind of half kayfabe, half shoot, so they're like you know, they're kind of giving insight on who they want to face and what they want to achieve, but also kind of in character as well. Like, they were interviewing Show, and he was saying like I've heard talks of them doing the Best Super Juniors at the same time as the G1 Climax.
That'd be cool.
Because and like he says, I think it'd be good if you did like, usually there's like 4 G1 matches a day. If it was like 2 G1s and 2 Best of the Super Juniors, and then like you get to vote for who goes in the main event every day.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And it'd be like, it'd just be an opportunity for the juniors to like prove that they can be they can be stars as well, you know.
Well, yeah, it'd be added spotlight for them as well.
Yeah.
So that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I like this because I love tournaments and New Zealand, so I want that.
Right. So will we move on and talk about Slammiversary first? Big weekend of wrestling this weekend.
There's a lot of wrestling.
Saturday's Impact Slammiversary, which is to be fair, is like one of the like most hyped Impact shows in a long time. Like mainly because they've done so well hyping it.
They're just so ballsy. It's like they've promoted the show. But
I'm just concerned that like
they won't stick the landing.
They won't stick the landing. Yeah, exactly. Like you're promising a lot here.
Well, see, like they've been very careful with their words as well, right? Like because they said that at least one former world champion was showing up, right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean that like 3 or 4 world champions have to show up. Just at least one, which means
it's who they're teasing compared to who it's actually going to be is the concern.
Yeah, and the interesting enough thing as well, because like the thing was, right, they said at least one former world champion will be showing up, and they won't be coming alone. And the immediate kind of answer to that, the immediate person that people were saying was Bully Ray.
Because Aces and Eights.
Because they've been teasing an Aces and Eights return for ages.
Yeah,
it was meant to happen.
And his contract with ROH is up as well. It's done.
It was meant to happen during WrestleMania weekend as part of that TNA No Place Like Home show.
Yeah.
But it was only meant to be Ken Anderson and D'Lo Brown as like the 2 representatives of Aces and Eights.
That's funny.
Like they've teased the likes of Sting, which I just can't see happening.
Angle,
which I can't see happening. James Storm, who I can't see happening. Maybe, but he works kind of primarily with NWA now.
Like Sting is under no contract.
Yeah, no, he could if he wanted to, but I just can't see it happening.
Angle,
he could if he wanted to.
Is he though?
Yeah,
can you still work for another company when you're on furlough, or did he get?
He got sacked.
Did he?
Yeah.
But they brought him back then for NXT.
Should have brought Slater back.
True. Yeah. It's very random.
Apparently that was all down to Drew McIntyre as well. Apparently he convinced him to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel was I think they'd always planned to do something like that, but I think it was going to be Jinder, because Jinder was on the verge of turning face anyway before he started. So I think they might have done something like that with Jinder, and now Jinder's hurt. So
I love the tweets, because like Joe, like not WWE's account itself, but Joe, like WWE on BT Sport, WWE on Fox, or WWE, like these accounts are like kind of like they tweet stuff that like Joe, you know that Vince doesn't want them tweeting.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, the 3MB formula, get fired, get jacked, return, win WWE Championship, and it was like, because Heath Slater looks in phenomenal condition. Yeah. You know, like since he's been let go. But like I thought they put up a tweet like that, like, and I bet you Vince was like, no, no.
I guarantee you Vince doesn't even know what BT Sport is.
Yeah. True.
But yeah. So yeah, like going into the show for Impact, like it is a big show for them, considering there's a lot of hype around it. So
I just realized Ken Anderson could be the guy as well, because he was a world champion in TNA as well.
Yeah.
So maybe him too.
But is it going to be this thing where, like, it's not the first time, and what concerns me is that it's not the first time that TNA have over-delivered or over-promised and under-delivered.
Yeah.
Like Dixie Carter, going back like 10 years ago, was like notorious for saying, "Oh, watch this show. Something's going to happen that's going to change the face of wrestling." Every show was going to change the face of wrestling. One time it was we have someone debuting for us and it's going to change the face of wrestling, and it was Tommy Dreamer. Like, come on, like I love Tommy Dreamer, but like that's not going to change the face of wrestling.
Like, the thing is, right, like this kind of new era of Impact with Scott D'Amore at the helm. It's been like it's like Impact's been really good. Like, they've been really good the last while.
I'm just hoping that they're not going to
old habits.
And
like the thing is, there's matches on the card that are probably going to be really good. And like I don't want them to be kind of overlooked due to the like you said, the under delivering
of a promise
of promises, like,
and like considering that they've had a tough time coming into this event anyway with the whole Tessa Blanchard situation and stuff. So like I hope they pull it out of the bag here. Like,
I'll say it because I have a few people who I think are going to show up, and I'll talk, and I know like where, but like I reckon there'll be enough show up for it to satisfy people.
And they'll be good to see,
because like I think wrestling fans as well, or well the majority of wrestling fans anyway, will cop on that like not all these people are going to show up. Especially like Joe, obviously they teased, one of the very first teases was Rusev, and like obviously he can't show up now. Because he tested positive for COVID-19. So like he obviously won't be there, and like I think people would figure out that like some of these people won't be there. Like,
and what is interesting about it is this show going to be live? Or has it been recorded already?
I think it's live.
So like what is interesting about it is the travel.
But I think it is.
The travel restrictions increasing in the US. Like, they could have teased someone like Kurt Angle, or they could have planned to have him on the show just for an example.
And recorded it.
And not recorded it like that. He won't be able to turn up. So you know what I mean. So like, they could be struggling with something like that. Same with Bully Ray in New York, and other people like that. Like, but you just never know.
What's interesting as well, actually, and now that you say of like stuff being changed like on the fly, one of the big like they've done a few teases that have been so on the nose that like they feel like the more likely ones. And it's like, and when you actually like Gallows and Anderson, they're probably very likely to show up. I think I mean, they're not unreasonable to show up. Ace and Nates, I think probably they're not unlikely to show up in some capacity, like,
But apparently Gallows and Anderson have said.
Yeah, that's the thing. But one of the one I was on about is one that they really teased, and just about like well, I'll kind of go through. We'll go through this. We'll go through the card, but like there's been a few that they've teased so hard. Like there's been a few like like Sting that was just a flash up, and like like people were kind of like, alright, it was like blink and you miss it. So like if you did miss it, it's no harm no foul because he's not gonna show up anyway. But there's been a few that like there's no way you can miss it. So you're kind of like, okay, they're probably more likely to show up anyway. But one of the big ones was the return of Team Canada with like Eric Young and stuff. But the thing was that Michael Elgin was bringing back Team Canada.
And that's not going to happen.
Obviously, no, that can't happen.
Because
he's been let go from Impact. So it'd be interesting now to see
what happens from there.
What happens there?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think EC3 has been teased. Has he?
No, he was on the big teases.
Was he?
Did you not see what they did for him?
No, I knew that they did some fella watching the show and like drinking whiskey and stuff.
No, they did way bigger than that.
Okay.
So Moose was wrestling a match there a few weeks ago. I can't remember who he was wrestling, and Moose won anyway. And after the match, like he was, here's your winner, Moose, and like he was, raised his hand, and then EC3's music played.
Okay.
And then cut straight away. It played for like 10 seconds. Moose was like, "What the hell?" And then it cut again.
They made it look like it was kind of.
It made it look like he was coming out, like. And And then and it was his old Impact music, like.
So he probably is going to turn up.
I reckon he's one of the guaranteed ones. The other, like, I suppose we'll just go through them now. The ones that have been like properly teased. So Ace and Nate are one of them because D'Lo Brown, who works for Impact now as a producer, was backstage on the phone. And he said something about like getting the band back together, and then he got up from his chair, and there was an Aces and Eights vest over the chair. But again, like that's been something they've been teasing since WrestleMania week.
Yeah.
With Ken Anderson and stuff, but it wasn't going to be the return of Aces and Eights. It was just going to be like Joe, like they want to do the Nexus.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Gallows and Anderson obviously posting stuff on social media and whatever. There's been a tease of Super Eric, the return of Super Eric, which was Eric Young's like comedy character.
Yeah.
Because they showed the Super Eric mask and cape, and then someone picking it up. So that's that tease. And Heath Slater was the other big one they teased, because Rhino was giving an interview backstage, and he said they asked him, do you have a tag team partner? Like, because he was like going through, he told Joe the story and going through multiple tag team partners.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, I do have a tag team partner, and he's got kids, and walked away.
Interesting.
So they're the big ones and obviously Team Canada, but that probably won't happen now.
Yeah. That's they have capitalized a lot on this whole and
they've also teased the whiskey thing.
Yeah.
They've teased like a faction forming off that, because there was like the last one, it was 3 hands grabbing 3 separate glasses and watching things. So
interesting.
Yeah.
But they have capitalized on the whole WWE letting half their roster go.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
They've capitalized that one more than anyone.
Like it used to be like a meme like that, like what's Burt Dangle doing in the Impact Zone? like just that literally that thing that like anyone who left WWE at one point like was almost guaranteed to be showing up in TNA.
I'm surprised they haven't teased like CM Punk or something, or would that be over delivering?
Well, I think that's guaranteed. Like they've tried to keep it to people who have actually
realistic as well,
and like realistic, but most of the people who have been teased have actually worked there at some point, so they've been able to use footage of them that they own, like like obviously Heath Slater never has, Rusev never has, so there was a few that they couldn't, but and like you say like that they've taken full advantage of the the releases in WWE. The prime example is Deonna Purrazzo.
Yeah.
Because like they've immediately taken her and put her into
made her like top talent
feud, and I'll talk about more of that when we get to that match, but like I mean like Impact more than anyone has benefited from these releases, like so I suppose we just get into the match card and kind of go through it. Look at that. Yeah, super sensitive material. So the first match, and like immediately off the bat, this is a match where there is probably going to be a return or a debut or whatever. It's an open challenge match. So it's a tag team match. It's the Rascals, Zachary Wentz and Desmond Xavier, offering an open challenge. So obviously I'm going to ask you who you think the team's going to be and who's winning.
Gallows and Anderson, obviously.
Yeah, Gallows and Anderson's my pick as well.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's
not for a title or anything, no.
No,
it's just to establish them.
It's just being like
returning.
We'll take on someone.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And like obviously Gallows and Anderson would be a huge return, and like the Rascals would just make them look amazing.
Where is this taking place?
They haven't announced it. They haven't announced the location.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Because there is no crowd, so they don't need to.
Yeah, but like, it'd be just nice to know.
Our Impacts, do you remember they were based in Canada there for ages?
They were based in Canada for a long time. Before that, they were based in Disney.
I'll check where their headquarters is and see.
Disney in Orlando.
Nashville. Oh no. Still their headquarters is in Nashville. So
it's definitely gonna be in like Dixie Carter's house or something.
Yeah. So I totally agree. I think Gallows and Anderson make their debut here.
Yeah.
Like I think they're probably one of the foregone conclusions for debuting at this thing. Not much more to say about that one. The next one is another fun one, and it's another one. It's kind of a comedy match, but it's also it could be fun as well. Yeah. As in like it could be kind of like a match. And there's a bit of explaining to do with this one. So it's an old school rules match for the unsanctioned TNA World Heavyweight Championship. So I don't know if you've been following this story.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
So Moose, it's Moose versus Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah.
And basically Moose, since the pandemic happened, Tessa Blanchard, who was the Impact World Heavyweight Champion, couldn't make the original tapings, so Moose brought back the old TNA World Heavyweight Championship and called himself Mr. TNA and stuff like that.
Yeah. But like it's actually worked out way better from now, considering that Blanchard's not coming back.
Yeah, that's the thing. But like, it's not. They're not recognising it as official.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Title reign, but he's defending it. He's defending it as a title and stuff. So it's Moose versus Tommy Dreamer in an old school rules match, which is, I looked it up. It's a hardcore match.
Okay.
So who would you have in why?
Tommy Dreamer, because it'd be hilarious.
That's
like,
the thing.
yeah.
I'm kind of tempted to pick Tommy Dreamer here because just for the crack, because it means fuck all.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be. I'm going to go Moose because I reckon Moose wins, celebrates like a dick, and then we might get the return of Super Eric.
Super Eric, yeah.
I reckon because it is a comedy thing.
Yeah.
Because it's not the actual world title.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I reckon Super Eric, if he's
so,
showing
yeah.
up, I reckon he might show up here.
Yeah.
And
Makes
just
sense.
be like, I won that. Or something like that. You know, I don't know. Maybe. Next up.
It'd be weird seeing Super Eric again, though, considering like Eric Young has aged so much since he's been in WWE, so now he looks like a middle-aged man.
At least he has a mask on though.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose.
So yeah. Next up is for the Impact Tag Team Championships. It is the Tag Team Champions, the North, Ethan Page and Josh Alexander, taking on the team of Ken Shamrock and Sami Callihan. I know, yeah, the most mismatched team I've ever heard of in my life. So obviously the North, longest reigning Impact World Tag Team Champions of all time now, been champions for over a year, taking on, you know, the can they get along team of Shamrock and Callihan.
Yeah.
So who do you have?
I'm gonna go Shamrock and Callihan, because it's like the kind of the trope in wrestling, where they have this can they get along team every once in a while. WWE's love doing it in the 90s, and
still love doing it.
Yeah, and so I don't know. It'll be interesting. I know it would be shitty because the North have been such a strong staple in that division, but
they
like
are the tag team division over there. Like
and like so, but like it'd be a shame that they'd lose to a non-tag team. But I think Callahan and Shamrock win, and then they quickly lose it to Gallows and Anderson, who are coming in.
See, my booking is similar to yours, but just a bit different. I think the North is winning here because I reckon, you know, Shamrock and Callahan just won't be able to get along, and that like they'll implode. You know, I think they're two volatile personalities.
They easily do that too.
So I think the North will retain, and then after the match they'll be like, there is no tag team division left in Impact, and then out come Gallows and Anderson to lay down the challenge.
Yeah.
So I do reckon that Gallows and Anderson will be champions. I reckon they'll be the ones to take the belts off them, like, because the North, you know, like you said, they've been such a staple over there, and they've been champion. They've had the longest reign ever now over there. Yeah. As tag champions, I want them to lose to a tag team, to like a proper tag team, and like obviously Gallows and Anderson would be a good one to lose to. Or maybe you could possibly do Slater and Rhino here as well, like, you know, it's But I reckon Gallows and Anderson.
You forget that Slater and Rhino is a possibility there as well.
Yeah. So you could get, like, because, you know, one criticism of Impact for the last while is that they've had like their tag division has been severely depleted. Yeah. Like, it's basically the North and the Rascals are the only teams left. So you could have like the North being like, we've run the tag division out of town, and then out come Gallows and Anderson, out come Slater and Rhino, and you set up like these new challenges. So
that'd be cool.
Maybe, I don't know. Like, see, that's the thing. Like, there's possibilities for people to show up in like every match.
Yeah,
you know?
And that's what makes it more intriguing. And, you know, hats off to Impact for promoting it that way.
Yeah, like, genuinely, you could pick someone to show up in every match, and like there is guaranteed to be one person show up in the main event, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The next match is another match that, you know, could be quite fun. It's a gauntlet for the gold match, just a gauntlet match. For the number one contendership for the Impact Knockouts Championship, it is Alicia Edwards versus Havoc versus Kiera Hogan versus Kimberly versus Kylie Ray versus Nevaeh versus Madison Rain versus Rosemary versus Susie versus Tasha Steeles versus Taya Valkyrie. Would you have one? It's a pick-em, really.
It's a pick-em.
Yeah.
I'll go Kylie Ray.
Yeah.
Just because, I don't know, like...
she was my second choice. I have an idea, but...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, like, I like Kylie Ray. It's a shame that she didn't stay at AEW. I thought she, especially now, considering how depleted that women's division is, that she would be
Possibly
shining
champion.
out. Sorry?
She could be champion.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a shame because she is a really good wrestler. Impact's women's division at the moment is stacked.
Literally, they can put on a 10-woman match here where anyone could win.
Yeah,
like, you know?
and like considering the two then in the actual championship match, Jordan Grace and Deonna Purrazzo, like are very good talent as well, coupled with the 10 that are here, and they just lost Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah.
But like
the possibilities are endless, really,
yeah,
like, you know.
So like even though they lost Tessa Blanchard, they still have a very strong women's division.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do in this match. I know gauntlet matches can be a bit hokey pokey, like they can be.
Yeah.
You know.
The kind of trope with them is like one person lasts for ages and then the last person out beats them. And like
the only kind of. There's only two I really enjoyed. Were the one on Raw where Seth
Chamber one.
Where
Seth went for like an hour and a bit.
Yeah, that was good, and Kofi's one.
Yeah,
the one that made Kofi really.
Yeah,
but I like. It's hard to pick with a gauntlet match.
I loved as well the New Day one. Do you know the one where they got him the match?
Yeah, that was good as well.
Because they picked they found like a different way to win every match.
And the Usos came out and said we're not gonna. We deserve this now.
That was
cool.
Good.
Yeah.
For a while there, WWE went crazy with gauntlet matches. They did one like every week.
Yeah. It was around that time. Remember, Vince had a rule where like there couldn't be wrestling in between commercials.
Well, that's why I saw it.
Yeah, it was around that time as well because they were mad doing 2 out of 3 falls matches.
Yeah.
For a while. You just get these weird kinks.
Yeah, he gets like these like buzzes, like, you know. I'm going Susie to win this one.
Okay.
Because there seems to be a storyline with her. They've been kind of teasing the return of the Su Yung character and the Undead Bride gimmick.
Yeah.
And I think what might happen is she'll win, and then she'll go on to face whoever wins the Knockouts Championship match. She'll lose, and then it's kind of like Bray Wyatt and the Fiend kind of thing. Like she'll have to bring back Su Yung to get the win. Then like
that makes sense.
So that's just because they teased it on Impact this week that she was turning back into Su Yung, but I don't know. That's like you said, like it could be anyone. Like it could and also there's potential for a return here as well. There's been talk of Gail Kim returning again, and she's the reason that she's such a possibility is because she works for Impact still as a producer. Yeah. So she could very easily just run out here as a surprise entrant. Yeah. But
genuinely, yeah.
I don't know. And also they've teased the Beautiful People as well, but like I said, they're less likely because Velvet Sky is retired and Angelina Love's under contract with Ring of Honor. Yeah. So they're less likely. But yeah, I'm going to Susie. Next up is the Impact X Division Championship match. It is the X Division champion Willie Mack defending his title against Chris Bay. Would you have him like?
Not really sure. Not really sure what the storyline is coming into this.
Just like Chris Bay is, he signed with Impact very recently. He's an old friend of Max from the indie scene. Yeah. And he turned heel like immediately on Max straight away and got this match basically. Yeah. It's not much of a story. It's just going to be a good match. Like
I'm not really sure. I'll go Willie Mack. I suppose. Yeah. It's tough. Yeah. I don't really know much about this match going into it, so I can't really. See,
I'm going Willie Mack as well, kind of based off your reaction as well, for the sense that like I don't think a lot of people know who Chris Bay is. Yeah. And I think this will just be a match to showcase what he can do. Yeah. And kind of just get more eyes on him, really, because like he's known, I kind of knew of him from the indie scene and stuff. Like I couldn't name you a Chris Bay match or anything, but I knew of him. And he'll pop up on Twitter every so often. So he's proper Osprey Pack kind of high flyer like but what I reckon it'll be a showcase match for him to kind of show what he can do and kind of get more eyes on him and get more attention on him. Yeah. But I think Mac will come out with the victory in the end. And there's been talk as well that Leo Rush is heading over to Impact as well. He's another name that they've teased. So he could pop up here as he would fit extremely well into the X Division.
He would, yeah. Rich Swann is still there, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still signed there. Yeah.
So like,
he's the one who dropped it. He dropped the title to Mac.
To Mac, yeah.
Or I think he was anyway. Yeah.
But like, that'll actually be a good division as well. If you have Leo Rush, if you have Rich Swann, you have
like you have all three of the Rascals who kind of pop in and out.
Yeah. So like, yeah, it would be good to see Leo Rush in. The only thing, like, you question Leo Rush's attitude and temperament backstage.
But you could argue as well that like that was totally down to the environment in WWE as well. It might have just suited him.
Yeah, but like he's been getting into fights with Mark Henry on Twitter. Like, Mark Henry's the nicest guy
you
ever
can't
meet.
fight Mark Henry.
Yeah, like, have you seen his interview with Austin on the network? He is the nicest guy in the entire world.
Yeah, he is.
Like that story that he told, that like he was asleep on the bus and he realised the bus was stopped because they couldn't fit down the street because there was a car blocking, and they were waiting for a tow truck to move the car, and he just got fed up and got off the bus, lifted the car and like threw it over onto the side, and they were able to pass out. But like,
imagine being that strong.
Yeah, but like he came back onto the bus and William Regal was there and he was like, Mark, if you ever get angry, do not touch anyone, because you will hurt them.
Seclude yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Yeah, I don't know. Again, like we said before, people could show up at any point in this pay per view. Like, that's the kind of beauty of it. Like, that's the intrigue of it. The next match is the Impact Knockouts Championship match between the Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace and Deonna Purrazzo. The kind of like Purrazzo has made a name for herself being like the first person to sign coming out of the releases back in April. Like, she was the first person to sign a contract with someone, like,
Yeah.
And what I remember, like, we talked about how like Impact have made the most out of the releases, be like basically promoting everyone to a line, like. But I think this might be the ultimate like fuck you to WWE, because you had Deonna Purrazzo, who is a really good wrestler,
very good wrestler,
and she was signed to WWE for 3 years, I think, on a developmental deal, and did nothing. Like, she was an enhancement talent essentially, and I think she's winning this one. I think she's going as champion.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it'll be Impact's way of going, look what we did. Look what you wasted.
Yeah.
Like, look what we were able to do with her.
Yeah.
So
like, she is a really, really, really good wrestler. And not only that, she has a point to prove here as well, because it's not only Impact that are going to go, look what you missed.
Yeah, Purrazzo.
It's Purrazzo too. And, she is a very, very good wrestler. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do, because so is Jordynne Grace. So I reckon this will be a really good match.
I reckon it'll be good.
And I reckon you're right. I reckon Purrazzo's winning as well.
Yeah, new Knockouts champion, I say.
Yeah.
Because since she debuted, they built her like as just, she's not as a monster, because she's not, but like she's such a good wrestler. Obviously her gimmick is the virtuoso. Like, she's brilliant at everything.
Yeah.
And like, so she's like, I'm such a good wrestler. It doesn't matter how strong you are, Jordynne Grace. Like, I'm still gonna beat you.
Yeah.
So just by being better than you.
Kind of like, but not in the same sense, but like kind of like a Zack Sabre Jr. type, where he's like, I'll use your strengths against you.
Yeah, being like, it doesn't matter how strong you are once I twist you into a pretzel.
Yeah, or Daniel Bryan type thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or Bret Hart even.
Yeah.
And finally, the match that I'm probably most intrigued for, because it's just been changed so many times. It's now.
So what did it originally start?
It was originally a 5-way between Tessa Blanchard, the champion, defending against Michael Elgin, Eddie Edwards, Ace Austin, and Trey Miguel.
Yeah.
And then Blanchard got stripped and fired.
Yeah.
And Elgin got fired.
Yeah.
So it's now. So then everyone thought it was going to be a triple threat for the vacant title.
Yeah.
But then they announced, no, it's still going to be a fatal 4-way, but there's a mystery opponent. So there's a mystery person in this match.
Yeah.
And it's Ace Austin, Eddie Edwards, and Trey Miguel still, and a mystery person for the vacant Impact World Championship.
Yeah.
So a lot of intrigue going into this one, because obviously, like, Ace Austin has been built, like, Ace Austin has been rocketed up the card. Like, I actually remember correctly, he was the guy who dropped the X Division title to Willie Mack.
Yeah.
He was the X Division champion. Then dropped the title to Mac. But if he wins this, he'll be the youngest world champion ever at Impact. He's 22, I think, or 23.
Okay. Interesting.
And interestingly enough, if he wins, he'll beat the current record holder for that is Tessa Blanchard. She's the current youngest world champion ever.
Okay.
So there's that to take into account.
Yeah.
You've Eddie Edwards, who's just been, a staple of Impact Wrestling for ages.
Yeah.
And I put out a tweet there not so long ago that he's one of the more underappreciated kind of indie guys ever. Like, when you look at what he's done, like former Ring of Honor world, he's the first ever Ring of Honor Triple Crown champion. He's won everything. First Gaijin GHC World Heavyweight Champion in Pro Wrestling Noah. Like, he's done everything. And like he's still reinvented himself now as this hardcore wrestler. You know what I mean? Like, he's crazy now. Then you have Trey Miguel, obviously, who's just on the rise, up and comer. Kind of like the Kofi in this kind of match situation. The guy who's been plucked out of the faction.
Yeah.
To kind of represent.
Yeah.
But there's been teases of the Rascals breaking up, like with Zachary Wentz turning heel and stuff. So will Wentz get involved and cost him?
Yeah.
And then obviously the mystery guy who's going.
Well, see, I wouldn't advise them to break the Rascals up, considering they're one of two tag teams they have in the whole
well,
company.
You can still do it with Dez and with Desmond Xavier and Trey.
I suppose. Yeah, maybe. I like the Rascals. We saw the Rascals, right? Didn't we?
Yeah. More than hype.
Yeah.
It was a good match.
That's a good match too. Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun. And then after the match, they were sitting on the stairs.
They're just sitting on the stairs watching the rest of it. No, that was cool. But yeah, it's tough because logic dictates whoever's the mystery opponent will win.
But I was before it became what it is now in its original form.
Yeah.
I was picking Ace Austin to win because they literally they've been booking him so strong since like he won. They did this big tournament. That was the thing as well. The whole tapings that Blanchard missed, like obviously Blanchard constructed the tapings. So the entire tapings were based on this were this tournament to determine the number one contender.
Yeah.
And Ace Austin won that.
Yeah.
And he blitzed everyone in it. So like
logic would dictate.
Like, this was a tournament that had Sammy Callahan in it. It had Ken Shamrock in it. It had
Moose, I suppose.
I don't know if Moose was in. Rhino's in it. Like
yeah.
It was, like all guys who were kind of obvious choices. And
what's Rob Van Dam doing there? I just realised that he's not on the card, obviously.
No, I don't think he's on contract anymore.
Really?
I'm not sure. I'm not gonna check. But yeah, I mean, like I was picking Austin, from the get go.
Yeah.
But now obviously there's, he signed to Impact. Yeah.
Just not being used.
He's just not being used.
He might be. Where's he living? Michigan.
Seconds. Check. Well, that's where he's from, but I don't know if he lives there. He lives in Vegas.
Yeah, so maybe he's just not in the room. But Mox is from Vegas, I suppose. But
Does he live there? Is he? They live in Vegas.
Mox.
Yeah.
Oh. Him and Renee live in Vegas. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Like not
in Vegas.
Not in Vegas, but like in the outskirts of Vegas. Yeah, Nevada.
The weird little suburb.
The desert type. Like.
Yeah.
No, Mox isn't going on the strip in Vegas or anything. Like.
He lives in the Eiffel Tower.
Rob Van Dam, on the other hand.
He probably does.
Yeah,
he lives
definitely.
in the Bellagio or something.
Yeah.
He lives in Caesar's Palace. Do you know what I mean? You definitely there's that little mini Eiffel Tower that they have.
Yeah.
In the little tip, there's definitely like Rob Van Dam, Katie Forbes, and the other one.
Yeah.
They just have their little sex dungeon at the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
So yeah, like first of all, ask who do you think the mystery guy is?
It's tough because they've teased
everyone.
If I was to put money on it, I'd say Bully Ray.
Really?
Yeah. Considering
if it's Bully Ray, he's not winning it.
But if they're bringing back aces and eights and they want to really push it,
see, I don't think they are I don't think they mean to do it proper. I think they just mean a reuniting of all the guys who were in it. Because I'm trying to think who was in the aces and eights. Obviously, Devon can't be there because he's signed to the WWE.
Yeah, but like
they could do Bully Ray can, Ken Anderson can, D'Lo Brown can, Luke Gallows can. He was on the original
so
members.
you can bring Carl Anderson into that as well.
Maybe, yeah. what's Mike Knox doing nowadays? Because he was one of the original members as Nux.
Was he? I didn't know that.
He was, yeah.
God only knows.
Yeah, he was one of the original members.
I'm
trying to think who else was in it.
Taz can't,
yeah. Who else was there? AJ faked joining them. Kind of like Brian and the Wyatt family. Kind of.
Yeah.
Who else was there? There's one I'm missing. There's definitely one like obvious one I'm missing.
No, I can't think of anyone.
It doesn't matter anyway.
But yeah, it's interesting to bringing Aces and Eights back, because like Aces and Eights ran its course so much so that they did like a whole comedy funeral for it.
Oh god, yeah.
When
like it won like Pro Wrestling Illustrated do like an end of year awards.
Yeah.
And one of the awards is worst gimmick. That one worst gimmick.
But like when it started off, it was really good.
It was good. It was good, and the whole reveal of Bully Ray as the leader.
Yeah.
Was really good. That in the cage and stuff was class.
And like the Bully Ray and Brooke Hogan wedding with Taz and stuff. That was cool.
And like it was the best singles run of Bully Ray's career.
Yeah.
And even the feud with AJ I thought was pretty good. When AJ came back after a while and became like an anti-hero essentially. Like he wasn't aligned with anyone. He didn't care if he was.
He was like Sting.
He's very much like Sting. Yeah. He was the Sting to their NWO.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, see, that's the thing with Impact, right? They've had so many factions that could have been fantastic.
Yeah.
And they never stick to landing. Like, one of my favorite ideas for a faction was the Main Event Mafia.
Yeah.
I think that is such a good idea of like this old guard of guys who are like, it's basically like it's like art imitating life or life imitating art of like the politics of like they have to be in the main event, and if they're not, like, what's going on.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
And especially when you consider who was in the group, like maybe not so much Kurt Angle, but Kevin Nash and Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
And like Booker T, not so much, I guess, but Sting, like he was around at that time, so he knows full well what was going on.
Yeah.
So like the original, and especially when you look at it, who was in the original incarnation of that group, it was Kurt Angle, Booker T, Kevin Nash, Scott Steiner, and Sting. Like that is a stacked faction if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
And then Samoa Joe joined later, but like they like, and I remember watching TNA as a kid, because I remember literally, I always say this, that I started watching TNA because I was flicking through the channels one night and I got onto Spike TV and it came up TNA Impact Wrestling, and I've been like, wrestling? What's going on here? And I tried and I had the channel. I was like, what? Free wrestling. And it was, and then the next thing, Kurt Angle was on the screen. I was like, what the hell is Kurt Angle doing here? And I remember, like, I used to watch it like weekly, and anytime the Main Event Mafia's music hit, you were just like, oh no, it's kind of like the Shield, like when the Shield's music used to hit and they just attack people, you'd be like, oh no, bad is about to happen. But yeah, like, and like the likes of Immortal and stuff with Hogan, and like Fortune with Ric Flair, just trying to do the Four Horsemen as close as they could to do it, but not really.
Yeah, but yeah, like
and then of course Aces and Eights.
But it'd be interesting to see if Aces and Eights come back. But then again, they have teased so many people. It is very, very hard.
Do you
to
reckon it'll be Bully Ray then?
If I had to put money on it, I'd reckon Bully Ray.
I reckon it's EC3. I think it's EC3. I think he's heading back there. Like, that's where he was appreciated.
Well, yeah, EC3 would make a lot of sense, but I don't think. Do you think EC3 wins if he comes in?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think you'll have the three guys come out, and then EC3 will come out. Like, I think, and the thing is, I think he might do his like old music.
Yeah.
And like. And then like Joe kind of like record scratch and then new music, because obviously he's not the same guy. He's created a brand new character for himself, and he teased that he's bringing a faction with him. Yeah. Because he's been doing his own videos and kind of thing. Like, one of them is like, it's like 3 slashes, and then like it was him walking down the train tracks, and then 2 guys following him. So. Yeah. Maybe after the match he might come down and attack,
Yeah, it makes sense. Like,
But EC3 has very much taken the same idea as Impact and basically teased that he's going everywhere.
yeah.
So that you have to watch, kind of thing. Like,
Do you think there's any possibility we could see Dixie Carter back?
no, she's the one person they actually have. They haven't teased.
Yeah.
She's like she's a bloody curse on that promotion.
Oh yeah, but like it'd just be funny with like. Do you think they call him Ethan Carter the third or EC3? Yeah.
Or maybe
'Cause,
a
like,
new name, I don't know, but EC3 I reckon.
No, he'll always be EC3, but like WWE never called him Ethan Carter the third. Like,
EC3.
it was just EC3. So like, yeah, they just never explained what EC3 meant.
You didn't have to. It was just, I suppose if you knew, you knew.
Yeah, but if you didn't, you didn't.
Yeah,
like,
if you didn't, you didn't have to. You know, it wasn't one of these things like, what does EC3 mean?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and you can Google it.
But so yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's Slammiversary,
Yeah,
yeah.
Slammiversary.
So
we might as well go into talk about
the horror show.
the horror show.
Horror show probably will be.
They're not there.
I didn't hear anything.
Go on.
The horror show it probably will be.
Yeah, for all the wrong reasons, I'd imagine. Go on.
Well, look, it could be fine. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I guess. Like apparently, there was rumors of this card being like not stacked, but just filled with matches. There's going to be like loads of matches on the thing, but they've only announced officially 6, but there's 7 going to be on the card for sure.
Yeah.
There's one match that they haven't officially announced for some reason.
What is it?
The bar fight. That hasn't been officially.
Oh, it's not been officially announced.
Like,
no?
it was weird, like, 'cause on SmackDown it was Miz and Morrison were like, you need to settle your differences in a bar fight, and it was proper, like, it was so, like, okay, that's what they're doing then.
Yeah.
And they just haven't announced it. And it was Jeff Hardy was like, yeah, I want Sheamus in a bar fight, kind of thing, without even, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
weird.
Yeah. Probably, was today Friday? Yeah, probably tonight, I say.
Yeah. Well, I hope tonight.
If not, then what are we doing?
Yeah.
I suppose we'll go on to that. We'll just predict that one quickly. The bar fight between Jeff Hardy and Sheamus. Who's winning that one?
Sheamus.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Why?
It's a bar fight.
Yeah. Jeff Hardy seems to be like, he seems really good at glassing people because he glassed Sheamus's poor bartender.
Yeah,
Innocent man.
Yeah, but the guy was only doing his job, but like,
I know, yeah. You're just there.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Is it a thing? I don't know. This is something tells me Sheamus is gonna win.
No, Jeff Hardy's winning this one. This has cause Jeff Hardy has to get his win back here, and this has to be the bloody.
I think what they might do is like Sheamus might before the match starts or kind of accidentally slip, or not accidentally but intentionally slip him alcohol, and then
oh no,
Jeff Hardy turns up drunk.
I don't want
that to happen, but
so
this is. And we get a victory rose. See, you imagine if they did that and you just had Sting just standing in the corner and just like. You shouldn't be laughing at that.
I know I shouldn't, but no, I mean, oh god, I wouldn't be surprised with the way this storyline's gone.
Yeah.
Like, I really hope not. Like, I just let this end now.
See, Matt Hardy actually tweeted
yeah,
about the
exactly. He's not comfortable with it.
He's not comfortable. He's worried.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Don't want that to happen.
I don't want it to happen, but
I'm going Jeff anyway. I think Jeff should win just to end it and just that is the obvious conclusion.
But what would you do with Sheamus then after that?
I don't know, anything like this.
See, I think this is going to be a match for SummerSlam as well. So I think.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's the one thing I'm worried about. That they probably want to blow this off at SummerSlam.
Yeah. I think a lot of these matches on this card are going to keep going. Yeah.
Well, no. Maybe one of them. I think one of them will lead to something at SummerSlam, but not exactly be a rematch.
Well, Wyatt and
I think that's really one that's guaranteed to keep going.
Yeah.
The rest of them, I think, will just act as storyline.
Maybe,
progression, you know. Anyway, we'll go on to the matches that actually are announced. So the first match is the United States Championship match between the United States Champion Apollo Crews and MVP for the new belt, the new shiny brand new belt.
Yeah.
Who do you have winning here and why?
I have Apollo Crews. I don't think it's as straightforward as it's going to be MVP. I think it's going to be...
They made it look like it really is going to be MVP though.
Yeah, but I think I think it's going to be a thing where, I don't think this match is actually going to take place. I think it'll be like MVP starts the match by trying to recruit Apollo Crews.
Oh, into the Hurt business.
Yeah, and he keeps turning him down, and then Lashley will come in from behind and beat him up, and then
Yeah, maybe.
yeah.
I have a similar idea.
I think it's going to lead to Apollo Crews eventually joining.
Think so?
Yeah. That's been teased for a while.
I don't think he will anymore. I think it's going to be Cedric and Ricochet join. Because they're teasing that now.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I hope so.
So give him something to do, please.
Exactly, yeah. I wouldn't even care. I'm agreeing with you in the sense that I think Apollo's winning this one as well. I've seen a lot of people picking MVP for this one. But I'm going Apollo because I think what I said I think this will continue to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
In the sense that I think Apollo will win in fairly straightforward fashion, and then Bobby will come in and attack him from behind and set up Crews versus Lashley for SummerSlam. I think Lashley might win that then, because obviously Lashley's been on the farm and he lost the WWE title match, like, so maybe a run with the US title.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I think we're eventually getting Crews versus Lashley at SummerSlam, which would probably be very good. Two super athletic dudes. But yeah,
Crews looks like Lashley's brother.
Younger brother, yeah.
It'd be so confusing.
It's like they have the same body shape, but just like Crews is a little more
little
compact,
stumpier, yeah.
But yeah, no, I think Crews is retaining here. The next match, oh god, I can't wait for this one. The eye for an eye match, where the only way to win is to extract your opponent's eyeball from their head.
What the fuck is this?
Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins. This is strange because like it's been such a good feud. It's been a really good feud, and it's been some of Seth Rollins' best promos ever.
Yeah.
And like they decided to blow it off by blinding the man. I don't know. Like, okay, either this is a non-finish and neither man loses an eye, or literally someone is CGIing an eye out.
Well, how do you come back to that then?
That's the thing. Are they just going to wrestle the rest of their career without an eye? Are they just going to be Jean-Pierre Roulette?
Well, see, what's leaning into my factor for this and who I'm picking is I'm going Seth.
They look cool with an eye patch.
No, I'm going Seth because Ray's contract is up.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have one. He doesn't have a contract.
Well, yeah, he's working with no contract, so I think
they're gonna blind him.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna blind him on the way out. Possibly take his mask.
Blind him and humiliate him. Why not?
Yeah.
But like that has to be it then for Ray. Like
that's what I mean. But I think that's it for Ray. Like I think he's done.
No crowd then for Ray's retirement.
I don't think he's retiring. I think he's gonna go back on. He's gonna go.
Knees.
Yeah, I don't think Ray's retiring. I think he's going wrestling again. But like but see, then there's the factor of Dominic because they're giving Dominic
proper been in this feud.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, how are they going to extract it? Is it just going to be like with their fingers, or like with a knife or something, or like
the mountain in Game of Thrones?
Yeah, like are they just going to pop them, or like?
But see, that's genuinely what they could end up doing, because like Rollins has been notorious for implementing Game of Thrones stuff in his ring gear and his stuff, and like he had his finisher for at one point was called King's Landing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so like
just loves Game of Thrones. So
like, yeah, you could genuinely have the mountain come here and squash Rey Mysterio's head.
Jeez, I don't know. Like, I'm so confused. Like, I have to watch it just to see what happens. But like, I'm so confused.
But see, that's what they've been doing brilliantly. Like,
yeah,
you have to watch
these. I'm so confused though. I genuinely don't know.
Who are you going?
I'm going Seth as well. I can't. My thinking is, right, not so much that like Rey is going to be gone, but like Rey Mysterio, the ultimate underdog, blinding a man. I can't see him like.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Rey Mysterio is one of the purest baby faces in WWE history.
Yeah. And
like he's already going to extract Seth Rollins' eye. But I've seen some renders of like Rollins with an eye patch, and it looks super cool. Like it proper like suits it suits the character.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like what's your man Snake from Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah,
Metal Gear Solid. Yeah. He kind of looks like him, but
it'd be interesting. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I'm gonna go.
There is a possibility. There is a possibility of Dominic turning on Mysterio
Jeez.
and joining Rollins,
Yeah.
because like Rollins, you could play it as if Rollins is, you know, has convinced him and like you know it served him, like so you know it'd be the ultimate betrayal for a son to
Jesus, yeah. Would be.
take his father's eye.
God, yeah.
It'd be like Shakespeare shit. But,
The one thing I want more than anything right now is a name for Rollins' stable. Like, how come he doesn't have a name yet?
Ice Stealers.
You know, I've seen the two best options I've seen are the Black Hand, because he has the black glove thing.
Yeah.
And he's been called the Black Hand of Raw, or the Greater Good. So like.
Yeah, the Greater Good is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Like, what I think should happen is the eye hole man from Rick and Morty should come in. Yeah, these are my eye holes. No, imagine.
Just beats the shit out of the two of them. Yeah, I'm going Seth because like it just makes sense for him to win. Like,
yeah,
I would have picked him no matter what. I think in the stipulation here, unless it was like mask versus hair.
That's so stupid. Go on.
Anyway, yeah. Next up is the SmackDown Women's Championship match. It is SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley defending her title against Nikki Cross. Who do you have in play?
Bayley.
Yeah.
Bayley, 100%.
Obviously.
I think
it's probably the easiest one to predict of all.
Yeah, I think the match is going to be Banks Sasha for SummerSlam, surely.
Bang Sasha.
My brain this morning. Banks, you got me up early for this.
Banks Bayley.
Banks Bayley. So Bayley Sasha is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
So
what's Banks Sasha doing the Impact Zone?
But yeah, like I think I think that it's going to be Bayley Sasha. There's been rumors about an Evolution too.
Yeah, but it's like the date that we're giving is the week after SummerSlam, which seems like a strange date.
But wasn't Evolution the first one like
October?
Sandwiched? Yeah, but it was sandwiched in between two pay-per-views as well. It was sandwiched in between like.
Yeah, but I think it was more than a week build.
But remember, it was like in around the Saudi show and in around the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
And they had like a pay-per-view for like 3 weeks straight, and it was like.
Yeah. Maybe.
Because remember, they were promoting 3 pay-per-views at once.
I think though, if like they'd want to be announcing it fairly soon if it is happening, like.
Yeah. How long was NXT in your house before?
I don't know.
Like they announced the Great American Bash like a week before.
Yeah, no, but like that was different. That was just NXT with.
Still, like they can pull it off, like.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. But I think it is going to Bayley Sasha.
Oh, it has to be, and it's been brilliant.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'll totally eat my words here, because when they didn't build this match for WrestleMania, I was like, it's gonna feel proper stupid now when they eventually do the match, but they've built it fantastically.
Yeah, it's like Batista and Triple H.
Yeah, it is.
Thing.
And there's just been so many little things.
Such
Sasha has been on such form, with just like. Plus, she's been on form because she's been having some amazing matches.
Yeah.
Bayley's been outstanding. Like I've totally turned the corner with Bayley at the moment.
Yeah, you were a notorious Bayley hater for a long time.
She's been pretty good now. I have to give her that. And like Sasha has done such little things, like having the holding the SmackDown Women's title so it looks like it's around her waist.
Yeah.
And like she did an interview being like, you know, take all your legends, your Trish Stratuses and your Lita. I've never seen anyone as good as Bayley, and then like kind of slightly looking at the camera like, except me, kind of thing. Like,
yeah.
And just you know, you can have a match with me if you wrestle Sasha Banks first, and Sasha looking like what the hell, and it's brilliant. I can't wait for the blow off. I don't know if it'll be here, but it'll be soon.
It'll be SummerSlam, I think.
No, I mean as in like when you know the implosion. Like,
yeah.
Because there's no tag champs as well, remember that. And that's the thing as well, they've had like unreal tag matches as well. Like the match with Knox and Blackheart was class.
Yeah.
The match on Raw this past week with the Kabuki Warriors was class. I think there might have been one other one that was really good as well. But like Bayley, Sasha and Asuka and Drew as well, I think, have been the highlights of the lockdown era for WWE.
Yeah.
Especially Bayley, Sasha, and Asuka. They've carried the company, in my opinion. Like,
makes sense.
Like, and Drew on the men's side of things, but Bayley, Sasha, and Asuka, like, out of everyone, I think, have been the MVPs of this whole thing. Like,
it is keeping it intriguing, you know, and you're looking for reasons to tune in every week, and that's one of the reasons people are still coming back.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Just to wait for the implosion, like, you know. But yeah, again, like you, I've got Bayley to retain, obviously. I mean, great to see Nikki Cross in this match, but like, she's not winning. And next up is another, you know, just, you know, who knows what we're going to see here. It's the Wyatt Swamp fight between Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. Obviously, this is a non-title match. The Universal Championship is not on the line.
Okay.
It's Braun Strowman versus Swamp Bray. Cult leader Bray.
I think this is going to be the first time we see Bray Wyatt and The Fiend in the same place.
Oh yeah.
I think that like
next to each other.
Yeah, like I think like that Simpsons.
Yeah.
You know, the two Krusties. I think like Braun is going to be like pummeling Swamp Bray, and then
feeding him to an alligator.
Yeah, and you'll see like because there has to be it's a swamp. There has to be alligators. There has to be, you know.
There will be
meth.
We're in Florida, Jack.
Yeah,
obviously.
The home meth. But it'll be interesting.
I think it'll be fun.
I just don't know what's going to happen.
I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good.
I think it will. Like, these matches are all.
I think Braun will thrive in these kind of matches.
Yeah.
And apparently they've gotten this guy, I can't remember his name, but he's like a stunt coordinator.
Yeah.
And he was involved in like all of Braun's, like when he did flip the ambulance and he flipped the truck and he pulled down all of Braun's big stunts.
Yeah.
Apparently he was like the coordinator for all of them.
Yeah.
So I think like him and Braun obviously work well together. So
yeah.
I reckon there'll be at least one huge thing, like Braun flips the swamp, but Toad dries it out, just a wet blanket. Throws a full-grown alligator at Bray. I don't know who wins though. Like non-title would mean that Bray's winning.
Yeah.
But Ross Trudell actually had really good logic behind it. He's like, Bray Wyatt will obviously win it because it's a Wyatt Swamp fight, just like how the Undertaker always won a Buried Alive. Oh wait, just like Mankind always won a Boiler Room oh wait, just like Kane always won an Inferno. Oh wait, and then he's like, Braun Strowman's winning this match.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think Braun's winning, and he'll just beat Bray within an inch of his life, and he's like, look, I obviously can't beat you. I obviously can't bring you home. So now I have to unleash my monster on you.
Yeah.
And then we'll get Fiend Braun at SummerSlam, and I think the Fiend will murder him.
Yeah. Yeah, and makes sense.
I mean murder. I mean like actual death.
Yeah, like we're seeing like for an eye match here, like it's not that far off that we see like a fight to the death.
We're a border away from Lucha Underground here, like Joe, like, where they literally killed off characters. Like people were killed on that show.
Who did they kill off?
They killed Did they kill Brian Cage on it? They killed Matanza Cueto, aka Jeff Cobb. They killed him like 3 times. Like,
was it like Kenny from South Park? Like
his whole thing was like his gimmick was like he was kind of like Abyss. He was like he was like on death row or something. He was like a prisoner. And
what's that Abyss's character?
Abyss' character was that he was a prisoner. He was he murdered someone. He murdered his father, I think, or his mother. I think he murdered one of his family members.
Yeah.
It was like a combination. Abyss was basically a combination of like Kane, the Undertaker, Mankind, and like. Yeah, so like we're not that far off someone being killed off in WWE, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going Braun here, just for shits and giggles, really.
Fair enough.
I just want to see what happens. I just want to see what they do.
Yeah. No, it will be interesting to see.
Because it is the swamp like that Bray Wyatt like had his whole
thing.
cult, like, you know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they do or what they can do.
Joe, it'd be cool. Joe, I just thought of there now. It'd be a cool visual for the end of the match. So like Braun wins, and he's like standing there, rah, whatever, and he's standing at like the swamp, like at the edge of the water, and then you get like the Fiend, just eyes pop up like an alligator. And grabs him and like pulls him in or something like.
Could easily be that.
Yeah. Actually, that. I'm just trying to think of ways to do this.
Yeah.
Did you see the video I sent you of the Fiend?
No, I couldn't watch it. The account that you sent to them was like suspended or something.
Oh, right, okay. But it was so weird, like just the Fiend in therapy, but just being silent the whole time, and like everyone's just asking questions and.
Was it like a vignette or something?
I don't know what it was. I don't know what it's for. And then like, because it is him.
Yeah.
And like it is, and then like at the end he goes, your one said like, oh, you might feel comfortable talking to me, but you might feel comfortable talking to Mr. Fox, and it's like a puppet.
Yeah.
And then the Fiend just looks at her, and the lights go out, and the lights come back off, and the Fiend's sitting in her chair, and the one's gone.
Fair enough.
Just killed the lady. Next up is another match that's probably going to be really good. This might steal the show, I think. It's the Raw Women's Championship match between Raw Women's Champion Asuka and Sasha Banks. So who do you have in mind?
Asuka. I have Asuka. I think Bailey's going to get involved here inadvertently.
Yeah.
And then that'll set up.
Yeah, could be.
Sasha Banks turning on her.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. For that one. Yeah, I mean, I'm going Asuka as well.
Like, Sasha isn't going to win because Sasha, like, unless they want to do the unification,
all the belts, like.
Yeah, maybe. Well,
unless, like, they could do that if Evolution 2 is happening.
But that's what I was thinking.
That would be like an appropriate main event, like.
But you know, you done the 2 belts thing very recently.
Yeah, and Bailey does have 2 belts, and Sasha would also have 2 belts if that was the case too.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was like 4 belts, like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, unless they dropped the tag team title before that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Asuka too. I mean, they've teased Asuka versus Kairi Sane now for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Which could be fun. I don't think it'll happen though. I don't think
it'll happen either.
I think what'll happen is next night on Raw, Asuka and Kairi will agree to it, and then out comes Shayna Baszler and like eats Kairi Sane.
Yeah.
And then like we'll get. I think we're gonna get Asuka versus Shayna at SummerSlam.
Could do.
Which would be good.
That'd be good.
2 best NXT Women's Champions ever.
Yeah.
Going 1-on-1. Be good. And finally, the main event, it is Drew McIntyre defending his WWE Championship against Dolph Ziggler in a to-be-determined match. So it's like, it has a stipulation, but Dolph hasn't revealed what it is yet. There's been 3 rumours, right? The obvious one is the Extreme Rules, like, because there's always an Extreme Rules match at Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Which would just be such a bleh.
Well, there has to be an Extreme Rules match. Like.
Yeah, the other one, the next one is the worst one. I'd rather the Extreme Rules over this. That Drew can't use the Claymore is the next one, which would be the most fucking white bread stipulation I've ever heard of in my life. And the third one is the one that has been leaked, but I don't know how true it is a TLC match, which would be
That'd be good.
That's the best one.
Obviously Drew McIntyre.
Does not be WWE champion.
Yeah.
What?
Did you see the thing? Actually, it was like it was like. Do you know that, remember in the Boneyard match when The Undertaker came up and was looking behind AJ Styles? So there was like a meme, it was like AJ Styles was a WWE champion on his first reign. So if you think of it, every person who's had like their first WWE title
he's like the go-to guy.
Yeah.
To lose. Yeah, no, Dolph's not winning this, you joking me. No, give me something credible, like.
Yeah, like I would have much rather Lashley again because that was a good match.
Yeah, and like Lashley, there was a possibility.
There was a possibility of it, because
and like even Rollins, there was a possibility. I know it was very soon after Drew won, so like most people weren't picking Rollins, but at least like we were like maybe.
Yeah.
Thing is though, this will probably be a good match because like I think Dolph will just make Drew look like an absolute lunatic here. I think he'll just bump like a psycho.
Oh, he will, but like he's gonna go away then after this again.
Probably for like 3 years. But yeah, no, and like, I reckon we're getting Drew and Randy at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And I think Randy's winning that one.
Do you think Randy's actually winning?
I think he is. I think I genuinely want it. I want Randy as champion now.
Yeah.
And you know, as kind of stupid as that sounds, because you know, I'm all for like the future and but like Randy's been outstanding. So he's the guy who's been a highlight of this.
Yeah, and like is is Rick officially with him?
His manager, like, I
Yeah.
don't know. They haven't said it, but he's just there. Like, he's just following him around.
He's a senile old man who turns up whenever he wants.
It's weird as well because they've announced for Raw next week Big Show versus Randy in an unsanctioned match.
Yeah.
Like, why not just do it here?
Yeah, it makes no sense. But I think it's probably get ratings or something. But
Maybe because Raw has been abysmal in the ratings lately.
But it's tough because there's no crowd and stuff. But you see, Ric Flair said that he feels more safe at the performance center than he would at home.
Yeah, I saw that because everyone's like saying like, why is Rick there?
Where do you live, Rick?
Where does he live? Florida?
It's not Charlotte, isn't it?
I don't know.
But like, come on, like that is the most
that's true.
company-fed line I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like, he's an old man who like legally died like a year and a half ago.
That's the thing, like, he's probably like the most at-risk person they could have there, like.
Him or Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, genuinely.
Other than that, or Roman.
But at least Roman's doing the responsible thing.
But that was up to him.
Yeah.
You know, and they've like blackballed him or something. Like,
Yeah, they've just written him out of WWE history now.
Like, so you just. But like, could you imagine what other company, a guy who just beat leukemia, will go, I'm going to set out this pandemic, guys, and
I
they'll
don't
be
feel safe.
like, what?
What? You get your ass into work right now. No, I mean, like, I don't want to die. I mean, like, no, it'd be great to be Universal Champion and everything, but I don't want to die.
Yeah, like, oh guys, I'm gonna go home because
My wife is also pregnant, by the way.
yeah, my wife is pregnant and I just had leukemia, and this pandemic isn't great for my health. But you're supposed to wrestle Goldberg.
Anyway, but what about the Goldberg match though? I'll pass on wrestling a 55-year-old. Just
Who will hurt him?
yeah, you know, I'll be fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, so.
But yeah,
So that's the horror show at Extreme Rules.
yes,
I mean, that's 7 matches we talked about there. There's probably going to be like 4 announced tomorrow, like, you know, the day before, usually.
yeah, pre-show and stuff. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah.
I'm looking forward more to Slammiversary, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I kind of am too. I'm just looking forward to seeing what to do with Ray and Seth.
Yeah.
And the Swamp fight.
And Swamp Fight, I think the Swamp Fight would be good, but like, I'm scared for the eye for the eye match, because like, it's an ice cream scooper, is that what it's going to be, or like, a spoon?
Sure. The spoon. Yeah, I'd love to see what weapons they bring out.
Like, screwdriver? I don't know. That thing that Loki used in the Avengers to get the guy's eye out, it's just like a big metal thing, he sticks it in and it's like a drill. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. It's tough.
Who's losing it? Who is literally going to be blind now? Like Ray, like that's the thing. Ray only has one eye now, anyway. Well, he's got like impaired vision.
Yeah. So is he going to take the other eye and make him
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like if Ray loses, he's blind. Like he's blind.
Oh, what is this year? Jesus Christ.
Unless Ray literally is like, oh, surprise, surprise, I'm okay on this eye now. Anything like, I don't know.
Yeah, so take this one. Yeah.
Yeah, this year's been a mess.
Yeah, I sent you that thing the other day. It was like
Mick.
Yeah, it was when the bell hits for on the 31st of December to ring in 2021. There was this like Mick Foley the hell was sitting down looking at the camera. Yeah, it's like, for God's sakes, he's smiling.
Just after surviving.
Yeah. It's all you can do. It's all you can do, really.
Yeah, literally.
So yeah, we'll leave it there.
Yeah, we'll leave it there.
So yeah, thanks for listening. Follow us on
JBRS 1998.
There you go. That's the one.
On Twitter, by the way.
On Twitter, yeah. And yeah, stay tuned. Actually, just one more thing. Fuck Vince Russo. He
That's an argument, man. Well, fuck his fans. Vince Russo was very minimal in that confrontation.
yeah, but still.
But fuck him anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.